Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to our happy hour. Show me the drink that you got. I am literally sipping on sparkling water because some of us are on a cleanse that we've been doing for 3 weeks, and we're on the tail end of that. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, buddy. So we're feeling good. So next month, if you catch us next month on this happy hour, we might have a drink in hand. Or two. But welcome. My name is Brittany Frost. I know it says McMillan on the thing. That's my maiden name, but I am Brittany Frost. And I'm one of the coaches that's going to be leading this with you guys tonight and just sharing my story. And I'm just really excited that you are taking a little bit of your evening tonight to learn more about our team and what we do as coaches and all the ins and outs. So what to expect tonight? Number one, super chill. Like when you get to know me a little bit better, there's really no rules except for just show up and do your best and be a part of the community, right? And I think that's pretty simple. Like that's just simple human stuff. But tonight, we're going to hear from a few different coaches on our team who are going to kind of break down their stories to inspire you. Maybe you can see yourselves a little bit in their stories, right? I love that piece of this puzzle, but they're also going to be interweaving that with components of what we do as coaches. So you're going to hear from Leah. Leah, wave for us so they see where you're at. Leah's going to be talking about what a coach does. Okay. We're also going to hear from Kristen. There she is. Kristen's going to be talking about her story, but also a little bit of the compensation plan and how we actually earn money as coaches. And then Annie is going to be telling us all about her journey as a teacher and a Beachbody coach at the same time, simultaneously, and talking about how to make this work. How much time does it actually take? And what does that look like? How do you mesh this together with something else, right? And then I'm going to kind of round out the evening with you guys and just talk about truly what I think the secret to all of this is. Yes, I'm going to give you a secret tonight. And it's not so secret, spoiler alert. But I'm going to give you the kind of secret to all this and also just talk about how you enroll with us, how you get started with us. In the chat, I know we introduced ourselves and said where we're coming from. Welcome everybody. I love seeing how we span the greater United States and whatnot. But in the chat, share with us really quick. Are you already doing Beachbody? If you are doing Beachbody and you're doing a program right now, tell us what you're doing. What are you currently doing in the chat? And if you've never done Beachbody before, are you familiar with it? Have you tried something in the past, or maybe have you seen infomercials or seen other people doing programs? Let us know kind of where you're at in that. That'll help us kind of gauge where our audience is tonight on your journey. Little Zoom etiquette before I dive into my story. I know we're probably all Zoom pros at this point in our lives in ways that we never even imagined we would be. But I've got everybody muted right now. If you do need to unmute yourself for any reason, that button is on the far left. But if you and if you're on your phone, I know it's kind of in a little different location, but on your iPads and laptops, it should be in the bottom left for that unmute. Video, we've got everybody's faces on, but I love seeing your faces. I will tell you my story in a second. I'm a school teacher, retired school teacher, and I just love seeing the faces, right? It helps me interact and connect with you guys better. But in the middle is where you'll see a chat button, and that's what you need to hit. You guys are Zoom pros though, because you already tapped that to tell us where you're from. But that chat button is where you'll be able to interact with us throughout the night. So leave that open. And if you have questions, drop them. If somebody says something and it speaks to you, tell them, right? All of the things, right? I love having dialogue with you guys. So make sure that you have that chat open and that you are engaging on that. Okay, I think I got through my checklist of like housekeeping. So like I said, you guys, I'm Brittany Frost. I live in Dallas, Texas with my husband and our little wiener dog, Frankie. I sent them to go wash the car and get gas. So normally at this hour, you would hear Frankie doing what Frankie does best, which is bark. And tonight, that will not be the case. Praise him, raise him. But I started my journey, if we want to take it back a little bit, about 7 years ago. I was not living in Texas and I was not married to my husband. I was single and I was living in Miami, Florida, and I was a school teacher. And I had been a school teacher. I was a school teacher for 10 years in elementary ed. And that's what my whole life, that's all I ever wanted to do. I just wanted to be a teacher. My mom's a teacher. My dad's a teacher. I came from a family, my Nana, like she was a teacher in a time when women didn't even really work. And she did. And so I had teacher in my blood growing up. And so that's what I knew I wanted to do, hands down. That's what I'm going to college for. That's what I'm going to do. And I love teaching. I love education. And I do believe it's the gift that I was bestowed. But when I got into the classroom, it was very different than my idea of what I envisioned I could do as a teacher. I felt really restricted, and I felt like it was always about the tests and the benchmarks. And the thing that really weighed on me the most was that when I got hired as right out of college, a new teacher, I worked for 10 years for the same salary. I never once got a raise because when I got hired, they put on a hiring freeze in Florida. And so I never made any more money as a 10-year teacher than I did as a day one teacher. And that grew really frustrating year to year to year. And I was at a place where I was broke as a joke, but I was also really broken in spirit. And at that same time, I had a friend who had just finished doing this program. Some of you guys might know it, Insanity. And she had the most banging body that I'd ever seen anyone have before without ever stepping foot in a gym. And I was like, how did you do this? Where did you do this? And it was just mind blowing to me. And so I did what most people do is you Google things, right? And so I Googled Insanity and I found a link on Amazon to buy it. And I bought it on Amazon, which I didn't realize at the time was such a terrible decision because buying it on Amazon didn't allow me access to the greatest asset we have, which is the community, right? And if you've been a part of the community with the coach that invited you, or you've even seen your coach talking about the community that they're a part of every day on their social media, you see that it's a big component of what we do. And it's the accountability, it's the atmosphere of surrounding ourselves with positive people that helps us do program after program after program and go on this journey together. And I didn't have that. I bought this on Amazon. So I did what most people would do when they buy something on the internet late at night, is I put it on the shelf and it just collected dust. And so fast forward to the end of the school year, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take on Insanity. And so I did. I committed for that summer break, that summer vacation, that I would do Insanity from start to finish. And as I was doing Insanity, I started to notice other people online who were also doing Insanity. Now, remember, I was a school teacher and I was not on social media. So if you're like somebody today that you're like, I could never do what she does on social media because I'm just like really private or not outgoing, I want you to have some faith that 7 years ago, that was me. That was 100% me. I didn't want anyone to tag me on social media. Please don't let my students know where I was after hours or what I looked like. Like, I just didn't want that. And so I started out really private, but I did watch people and I did stalk people. And one of those people that I was stalking was a girl that I worked alongside of in college. And she had just had her first baby. And after her baby, she lost all of her baby weight with Insanity. And so I was watching her do Insanity and losing this baby weight. Simultaneously, I was doing it. She was my accountability buddy and she had no idea. I was using her on social media as that person pushing me to finish. So I'd watch her every day and see her check-ins and just admire her from afar. So fast forward to the fall, and I'll never forget, it was an October day. The school year had just begun. And you know, when the school year begins, if you're a teacher or you have been around teachers, you know the excitement is there at the top of the school year, right? Like that's when you're so excited. And so I was excited, but October hits and you're just back in the school year. You're back in the grind and you're back in the saddle of that thing. For me, that felt like an elephant on my chest, that at the end of the day after dismissal, I'd look around and I'd just think to myself, man, is this it? I feel like I was made for more than what I'm currently doing and giving, right? And I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what that looked like, but I just knew something was out there. And so on this October day, I got home from work and I just started scrolling my phone mindlessly when I got home, just kind of trying to numb away the day. And I stumbled upon a video very similar to this kind of a thing where my coach was talking about, well, she wasn't my coach, my friend was talking about the coach opportunity and joining her team. And I immediately messaged her and I was like, I'm so interested. I just have one question. I had one question. That was it. I said, do I have to have parties? And she's like, no, everything we do is on social media. And Leia's going to get into that in a second here. I'm not going to break that down, but I was relieved to hear, you guys, that I didn't have to add one more thing to my plate, right? Because I was already busy, and I'm sure you are too. And so I didn't have to add like, okay, now I got to like break out, shakes out of the back of my trunk and schlep them in for like a party that I'm throwing. I didn't have to do that. I could literally just show up on social media, share my journey authentically, and grow a community of other women who just wanted to do this alongside with me. It's amazing. So that's kind of the way I got started. 7 years later, you guys, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of ups and downs and growing and learning and stretching and evolving. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I would not be the kind of wife I am today. I wouldn't be the kind of friend I am today, the kind of woman I am today, if this opportunity in this community didn't come into my life when it did. I went from broken to the complete opposite of that. And I can attest that to Beachbody giving me that opportunity to grow. Beachbody doesn't hand you anything. There's not going to be like, this isn't, I worried when I enrolled, like, did I sign up for a get rich quick scheme? I was so worried. No, what I signed up for was doing heart work and doing hard work and showing up for myself. First, one of the mottos on our team, and I have it here on my cup, is it starts with me. And I tell our teammates that all the time, because this journey, 7 years, has been with choosing myself daily so that I could give to others in ways that I never imagined that I could. So that's kind of a little bit about my story and where I got my start. I'm a full-time Beachbody coach now. I no longer am in that classroom. I gave myself the raise that I never earned. And that was my pathway. That's what I dreamed of doing, was kind of exiting myself from that classroom and creating my own digital classroom like this. And your goals don't have to be the same as mine. You're going to hear so many other coach stories tonight. But what I want you to know is I want you to know that within all of our stories, there's a piece of inspiration for you of what's possible that maybe you never imagined was in your life. And I just want you to be open to that. Our team's called Inspire Beauty for a reason, because we really believe that inspiring beauty in the lives of others just has such a massive ripple effect. And so I'm super excited to hear from our other gals tonight, because they truly are the ripple effect of the yes that I said 7 years ago. And then you get to be a part of their ripple effect of the yes that they said. So Leia, I'm going to pass it over to you, my friend. Kick it off and tell us all about what a coach does.
Awesome. Thanks, Britt. And yeah, selfishly, I can't imagine if Britt wouldn't have said yes. If she wouldn't have started creating what she craved and what she was missing, I can't imagine the hole that would be in my heart. And I mean that sincerely and wholeheartedly. So y'all know, my name's Leia. I live in Sunnyvale, California, and I popped it in the chat because nobody knows where Sunnyvale is unless you say, I'm spitting distance. Well, yeah, Kristen does, only because she worked at Stanford. I'm spitting different distance from the Apple spaceship, the new Apple headquarters. And you mentioned Apple and everybody goes, oh yeah, Cupertino. Well, we're in Sunnyvale right by there. So live here in our home with my high school sweetheart husband. We are celebrating our 29th anniversary this June, and wasn't always peachy keen there, but I'll talk about that in just a quick sec. We've lived here for almost 30 years, 2 grown children. They both live in Arizona, and I'm chomping to get out there because I haven't seen them in over a year, except on Zoom or FaceTime, and that's just not good enough for this mama. They're always your babies. On the weekend, I am an on-air personality in the evenings for our local country station. So I'm on the radio on the weekends, doing my Beachbody business full time. And if you would have asked me 5 years ago when I signed as a discount coach, because it was all about saving money, I would have told you you were freaking nuts, because I was never going to coach. I couldn't imagine myself coaching because I had been on that emotional stress eating roller coaster pretty much since junior high. And when I joined 5 years ago, I was 53. And I still was emotional eating, stress eating, just going through all the things. Well, my daughter met Britt when Britt was working one of her other jobs before she became a full-time Beachbody coach. And Katie decided, I'm going to work this business. Well, that she took a different path, so she is not in it. She actually is a coach under me now. But I was that person that Katie went to who she knew was her ride or die. She knew she wanted to hit Emerald, which means getting 2 coaches in our world. And she knew I would be her quick, easy first one right out the gate. I didn't have somebody like that when I started. So, I'd do anything for my baby girl. She knew all she had to do was ask. She also knew that I would trust her and believe her when she mentioned the word coach, and I backed up. And she said, no, Mom, you're going to be a discount coach, which means you're going to save 25% on all your product. She had me hook, line, and sinker, because why on earth would I want to pay 100% for something that she was assuring me I would like and that would be good for me and would help get me off that type of relationship with food? Why would I want to pay 100% when I could get 25% off? So signed up as a discount coach. I'm going to fast forward a couple years, and I had a surgery, told myself there was no way I could keep doing these workouts. Well, I stopped doing workouts, which meant my shakes were piling up, because if I wasn't doing the workouts, why would I have the shakes? Because I wasn't connecting those things together. And that was probably one of the worst decisions I made in the last 5 years, because I gained the weight I had lost and then some. Fast forward a little bit more, I came back into the community because this, y'all, the community, the team, this is where it's at. We aren't just selling a product. We're selling self-confidence and motivation and inspiration. And I realized I was coaching already. I was coaching myself. I was learning those lessons of how to be a coach by showing up every day, by drinking my shake, by doing my workouts or eating a beach bar, something, showing that the product was something good to me and that I valued it because it took care of my body. Moving my body because I don't like how I feel when I don't. So I was already doing that. The challenge group that I had joined, we have challenge groups. Those are all done virtually. It's you doing you on your time, not having to check in at a set time on a Zoom call to do your workout. It's truly you doing you, us helping you pick the program that you want to do, and going from there. And I was loving on all the ladies. And without telling any of them, some would say, man, you're just like the perfect cheerleader. Well, in high school, I was a cheerleader. So that just kind of, segued me into this because that's just my heart. I want and love and thrive on loving on others. And something that I learned when being on this team was personal development. I had never really heard that phrase in my entire life. And this team loves putting personal development out there. Our company loves putting personal development out there. I not only was taking care of my body, I was taking care of my mind and soul, which was taking care of my heart, which then allowed me to pour even more into my husband, into my children, into my job, into me, and just filled my cup over abundantly. And so I was coaching and I didn't realize I was coaching. So then I got challenged a little bit to start working the business. And I told Britt she was kind of nutso. I didn't know what she was thinking when she asked me, but I accepted the challenge, started my own challenge group, started getting people under me. And it really feels good to be able to serve others and to provide them with a tool they're looking for when they come to you and say, something's missing, or I just don't have the confidence in myself anymore. Can you help me? I had a challenger the other day reach out to me and say, I'm down 7 pounds. She's been in this program 21 days. I'm down 7 pounds and I'm surprising myself. And it's because of you. Thank you for believing in me. And I had to go back to her and say, girlfriend, I'm not push and play. I'm not making the shake. I'm not making those nutrition choices. You are. But because of me cheering her on and loving on her, she's building that self-confidence all over again. And there's nothing sexier than that, than a woman believing in herself and feeling good in her own skin. And as coaches, we do that. So we talk about personal development, we keep growing ourselves, we love on our community, we put ourselves first. So we do our workouts, we drink our shakes, we put that out there if you want to put it out there. Now, not all coaches, like Britt said, put it on social media. But when we do, sometimes we reach those people that we don't even know that, everybody's watching. That I can promise you. Every single gal on this screen right now, somebody's watching you and you're inspiring them. I promise you that. I never believed that until they start messaging you and telling you things, and you step back and go, "Ooh, they really are watching." It's not that whole thing with your children, where you say they're sponges, they're always watching, which they are. But these people are watching you too. And when you don't show up, and sometimes you don't show up for a few days, you sometimes get those messages from somebody who says, "Are you okay? I haven't seen you. What's good? I'm just thinking about you." And you don't even know these people except for the relationship that you've built. I love connecting with them. I love learning their why, their goals, their baby steps. I love celebrating those baby steps, not just waiting for that grandiose one, but that baby one. Ooh, you got your kit in the mail and you've already logged into BOD. What program are you going to do? Celebrate that. Okay, you got your shakes. What's going to be that first recipe? Okay, what'd you think? I want the review. And I love being able to do that. I love that all of this is on our BOD app, that Beachbody On Demand, excuse me. All of it's on there for you to connect with that community, for you to connect with us on our Facebook team page. We are always messages away. I thrive so much out of loving on others and being their number one cheerleader, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think when Britt sat me down and said, "Okay, let me tell you what you're already doing that I do." And she did the list. I mean, for goodness sake, her freaking husband, who wasn't her husband at the time, said, "Okay, why isn't Leah coaching?" Because he knew me and could see everything I was doing. Everybody else was believing in me and seeing it except for me. Well, that's because I wasn't doing personal development yet. And there are even still days where I'm not quite doing it, where I've got to, get that mean girl out of my head and back up, or text Kristen or Britt or somebody on the team and say, "Somebody talk to me," because, she's taken over right now and I just can't today. I think being there for others and sharing them on those baby steps of the way on the good days is awesome. But what's more important is being there on those bad days. We need to push play and we need to take care of ourselves and we need to be there for them, even and especially on those bad days. I think something that will stick in my head is Kristen reached out to me last year. I had stepped away from the team when my marriage was falling apart, and the girls didn't know because I truly had backed off. And I think they knew something was going on. They just didn't know what it was. And she reached out to me. And if she wouldn't have reached out to me, I wouldn't be back on the team. It was the simple text message on my phone saying, "Hey girl, how are you? We miss you." And I sat on my floor and cried because I realized there was that piece that had been missing while my marriage was falling apart, all while shelter in place was happening and trying not to kill my husband because he was working from home and we were both under the same roof, and Lord have mercy, just getting out on the bike rides and moving my body here in the other room, I needed for my sanity. So I dove back into personal development. I dove back into starting a challenge group into the community. And I think if I leave you with anything else, that for me, selfishly, was a piece I knew how important it was, but that I allowed to go missing. And it was that missing piece that I needed so desperately back in my life. And I am so grateful she reached out to me last year, because this community of this team and the community of my group breathes life into me. They aren't my life, but they help me breathe and survive every day to be a stronger, better woman, mama, wife, employee, to keep empowering other badass babes who are out there who are inspiring somebody. They just don't realize it. So you may be that discount coach right now, but don't discount that. And I am going to pass it over to, oh, dang, I forgot my notes and that piece. Kristen, are you, oh, whoo, my hero of a nurse, Kristen, is going to take the mic from here. Take it away, girl.
Oh, thank you, Leah. Ladies, so welcome. My name is Kristen Billington, and I have been a coach here on Inspire Beauty for almost 4 years. This fall will be 4 years, but I've really been working the business for the last 2 years. So I have been a full-time nurse for 15 years, almost. And there was not ever a day, you guys, when I grew up and like knew I wanted to be a nurse that I ever thought I would leave nursing. I was going to be that nurse that was 70 years old and you were going to have to pull me out of the ER and make me retire because that is just my heart and soul. That is what I want to do. I want to be there taking care of patients. And so when I met Brittany, I was living in Sunnyvale, California on a travel assignment at Stanford. And we ran into each other at Orange Theory and kind of just exchanged like Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. And I just kind of watched her over the years. And it was only a year later that I reached back out to her and I think you actually were like, she's the queen of follow-ups. So she kept getting in my inbox and like, do you want to join us? Do you want to come over to, the team and whatever? And I was like, no, I'm good. Like I do my workouts, I'm fine. And finally in October, I took the plunge and I said, okay, put me in. But I really joined you guys solely for the workouts. I was like, I got this. Thanks for the workouts. See you later, And it was all fine and dandy until a few months later when 80 Day Obsession launched. And she was hyping up the program. She was hyping up this group that she was going to run. We were all going to do it together. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go all in this time. Got my huge pack of like all the supplements and I was going to do this thing. And thankfully at the time I was then in New York City on another assignment and my cousin was there with me. And she was also trying to figure out her fitness world at the time. And I said, let's do this together. Like added accountability besides this weird group that I'm going to be joining. Like, I don't know anything about it. I don't know any of these girls, but let's do it together. So it was like added accountability for the two of us. And you guys, I can truly say that it was amazing. It was so fun to be in there with all those ladies. We were on the same day together. We were pushing together. And I just felt that that was the accountability piece that I was missing. Like I was always easy to self-sabotage. I was like, okay, I'd eat good during the week. And on the weekends, I'd like splurge and like gain the 3 pounds back that I lost, right? But now I not only had this accountability group, I had my cousin and I was like, well, if I'm going to help her on this journey, then like, I can't, give in, like, cause then she's going to give in. Right. So while I completely joined you guys for the workouts initially, it was really the community and the group that kept me coming back because I figured once 80 Day Obsession was done, I'd be like, peace out again. Like, thanks for the fun and I'm good on my own. And that wasn't the case at all. I was like, put me in your next group. Britt, put me in your next group. What's coming next? Oh, lift 4. Okay, put me in. And it just kept snowballing. And I kept seeing results. I kept loving the product. I kept loving the accountability groups. And then I kept seeing Britt inviting more women into this community and helping them on their journey. And I was starting to see the financial impact that it was having for her and the impact that like I knew she had on my life from getting me started and helping these other women along the way. And so when I thought, like Leah said, like I can't do that. Like I'm not doing all the things. I was doing all the things. I was showing up to my workouts. I was drinking the product. I was sharing with my cousin at the time, but I was like, well, why don't I venture out from that and invite other people along? Maybe some other friends, could benefit from this. And so fast forward to now, seeing that supplemental income coming in as I kept helping women along, my passion stayed the same to help people. I want to be that nurse at the bedside, but I also love helping women get started in our community. And so then I started thinking about like not just paying for my product every month, but what could this do if I could like leave the bedside? God forbid, I'm not going to be 70 and working as a nurse. Like that was just crazy, you know, until you see an opportunity or a different opportunity, you don't really know what's out there. And so I was like, I'm going to go part-time. I'm going to go part-time as a nurse. And officially 2 weeks ago, that was my part-time day. And it's been so freeing, you guys. And like I said, it's not that my passion changed, it's just my priorities changed, because I love helping these women so much that I didn't want to cut down on that time, nor did I want to give it up because I had to pick up hours as a nurse when I could just pick up my slack in my business and make up for it there. And so part-time nursing now, so I can have the freedom to, I love to travel, and I have, usually my dog is on the bed, but you know, less time for him to be here home alone for 14 hours when I'm gone, and freedom to live my life on my own schedule, not the hospital schedule. And so when it comes down to it, this doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of time and consistency and a vision. Your vision has to be so much greater than any excuse ever could be. And that will keep you going, and that will eventually grow your business. If you want it to be a hobby though, that's okay too. Like if you just want to help people here and there, sell some products, whatever, that is fine. You treat it like a hobby, then you get paid like a hobby. But I want it to be a business. I want this to be my career of helping women, because I just see it, you guys, as really an extension of nursing in a preventive way. So where right now I'm in the hospital, I'm helping people when they have to have procedures and we might have to diagnose them with cancer. There's not much that I can do besides help them through that anxiety part of the procedure and calm their fears and all the things like that. Where here is women, I can help prevent things, you know, from happening. I can get their bodies moving. I can get them, you know, the healthy shake to fill in the gaps of their nutrition and all the things. So one thing when we talk about like selling stuff, everybody thinks that selling is icky, right? And I don't want to be a salesman, but I really don't think of it as being icky when it comes from the heart. When it is truly genuine and you love something so much, it doesn't feel salesy. That'd be like if I found like my favorite pair of like socks to work out in, right? That doesn't give me blisters or anything. Am I gonna like not share that with my other friend that is like having the same issue? Like, no, I'd be like, go buy these socks. That's the same thing. Share this, like these workouts are working, these shakes are working, share that with them. That's genuine, that's coming from the heart that you truly want to help them. So it doesn't have to feel salesy. It's only salesy if you make it feel that way to yourself. So a couple of things I'm just going to touch on how we do make income. We have packages where everything is lumped together. So you get the workouts, you get the nutrition, you get the shakes or the other line that we have, and you get access into our accountability groups. That's a package. Packages all range a little bit differently, but on average, you make $50 per pack that you sell. So that's like pretty good money. I mean, you could go get a pedicure for that, right? The next way that we make money is team cycle bonuses. And like Britt and Leah kind of talked about, think of that as your ripple effect. We are the ripple effect of Brittany, and we are having other coaches underneath us help others along the way as well. So it's just that continued ripple effect that we are just reaching as many women as possible. And then once you get into like the higher ranks, like Leah talked about Emerald, but then there's like all the star ranks that we have, and those unlock quarterly bonuses actually. So that is definitely a huge way to help produce that income and get that growing for you. So I know that that was probably like a lot of crazy stuff to talk about, but as far as like money and stuff, but we will teach you all of that as you come into us. And like Leah said, if you want to do this just on the side, then that's how we'll help you do that. If you want to treat this like a business, we'll help you do that too. We are here as a community to help you on your journey. That's not only fitness, but that's in your nutrition. That's in that mindset like Leah taught you. That's on the business side too. We're here to help you. So I hope that that gave you a little bit of insight as to the income side of things. I'm going to pass it to my girl, Annie, who is going to talk to you about how she works it in pockets of her day as a full-time nurse teacher.
Definitely not a nurse, could not do what you do. Hey guys, happy hump day. Congratulations on making it over halfway through the week. Sometimes a big feat. My name is Annie. I am a full-time 5th grade teacher. I'm a wife, I am a dog mom, and I am a coach. And what I'm going to talk to you about, like Kristen said, is how I make both all work, how I can have a full-time career as a teacher, as well as a successful business as a coach. I think a lot of times, at least for me growing up, a lot of times we get stuck in the idea of whatever I do after high school is what I'm doing. That's me. Kind of like what Britt said earlier. Like whatever I graduate with, whatever trade I choose to go in after high school, whatever it is, we have the mindset of this is what I want to be when I grow up. So this is what I'm going to be for my whole grown up life. And that's not true. And it has taken me a long time to realize that that's not true and doesn't have to be true. When I started coaching, I was in grad school. I had been doing Beachbody for a couple of months. And I was told that coaches get the best results, and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. So I said, well, I want results, so I'm going to coach. I had no idea what it was, no idea that it could be a business. Like I knew I could make money doing it. I knew it meant having other people join you, but I really didn't see it as anything other than that. But that summer, so that was like January, and that summer I went to Beachbody's annual coaching conference called Summit. And for 3 days, I heard tons of people just share inspiration and motivation about their coaching businesses. The majority of them were full-time coaching and were earning way more than they did in the career that they left, whether it was climbing the corporate ladder or whatever they did before. They were full-time coaching now and were earning a living off of that. And a lot of the women that I heard from were former teachers. And it was the first time that I heard from teachers who were using their teaching degree in a different way. They weren't in the classroom. They weren't teaching anybody that's under the age of 18, because you have to be 18 to do Beachbody. And so I got to hear from them of how they were still passionate about the degree that they got, but were using it in a completely different way. And while I was super inspired by that, I was not in any position to leave my teaching job. I still felt called to the classroom. I was planning a wedding. I had just bought a house. I did not feel like I could just take a leap and leave my career. But I still was like starting to gain interest in and starting to realize that coaching could be a business. So that fall, when I went back to school, I was really focused on being a better me. I was focused on building the habits that built a healthy lifestyle. I was focused on gaining a routine. I really started to love exercising, which if you knew me before Beachbody, I hated. Was learning how to eat right and all the things. And I saw my friend from college posting on Instagram about being a Beachbody coach. And she was a teacher, full-time teacher. And she was constantly sharing about both. She was sharing about what one of her second graders said in the classroom that day, but then showing her training call that night with her Beachbody team, and was sharing how she was earning bonuses, which, like Britt said, you don't get as a teacher unless it's like a jeans day, but that has nothing to do with income. And I was seeing her balance both and be successful in both. She wasn't sacrificing any of her teaching abilities or time for teaching by putting coach with it. And she wasn't failing as a coach because she had this other career. So I reached out to her because I looked at her and I said, well, if she's doing both, if she can do this, why not me? Why someone who I literally graduated with her from the same program? We both got teaching jobs right after graduate school. Why can't I do that too? And so I reached out to her and I said, I'm already a coach. I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to do what you're doing. And I had been on a different team at that point, and I switched over to Inspire Beauty and was under my friend, and started really learning what coaching could look like, not as a full-time job. Because I had seen people at Summit that felt like super out of reach, and I still wanted to be in the classroom. So I started seeing all these people who were teachers and nurses and all these different things, balancing both and being successful with both, just like my friend had been. And I decided it was important to me. I had become so obsessed with being a better me, it became non-negotiable for me. The waking up, working out, drinking my shake, doing personal development, spending time with the community, like diving in, being with other women who had similar goals, it was non-negotiable. And like what Kristen was talking about, if you're really excited about something and you're really obsessed with something, one, you're going to make time for it. And two, you want to share it. So even though I felt like I was insanely busy, I had just gotten married, COVID hit, which made us not busy, but at the same time, like our minds are going crazy. I felt like I was so busy, and I was able to make time for it. And as I've continued to grow my business, well, one, being excited about things and sharing them with people who care about you and who you care about, they want to know what it's about and they want to join. And like Leah said about people constantly watching you, they're watching you because they want some part of that. If they're going to keep watching you, there's something that they see in you that they want or that they admire. And so as I kept doing that and I kept sharing my workouts and I kept sharing what I was eating and I kept sharing about teaching, people started wanting to join. When I asked, people would consider it. And so after COVID and all that jazz, well, we're still in COVID. After the complete shutdown, when I started back at school again, I obviously felt extremely busy. But I had built all these habits, routines that were non-negotiables for me, that I found time for them. Just like if you have kids and you have a spouse and you have this crazy life with a job and 3 kids and a spouse, and you want to have a date night with your spouse every week, you're going to make time for the date night with your spouse. If it's that important to you, you can find time. So I don't work my business. I don't come home from teaching and then work my coaching business until I go to sleep, because that's not me. I want to have dinner with my husband. I want to chill with my husband and my dog. I want my downtime in the evening. So I work in pockets. So in the morning, instead of hopping on my phone and mindlessly scrolling, I'm intentionally scrolling. I'm going through, I'm loving on people's posts. I'm sprinkling love. I'm building relationships. I'm making connections. I'm sharing my workout that I just did. I'm sharing whatever professional development I did. I'm sharing whatever my devotional said that morning, which is half of what we do as coaches. More than half of what we do as coaches is sharing, loving people, adding new people so we can get to know them, etc. So all that's done before I even go to school. 20 minutes scrolling with intent instead of mindlessly. Then at lunch, if I don't have a meeting, that's another 20 minutes where instead of scrolling through, just like glazing over, staring at the screen, I am checking in with my challenge group, checking in with the girls who have already joined me, who are doing their workouts or want a new shake recipe or whatever. I have that time to check in with them. So then by the time I get home, I've worked for 40 minutes to an hour already, just from the time I woke up to the time I left school. And then if, like whatever I've gotten to at that point, when I get home, I can work on inviting people that I've connected with. I can talk to people who are interested. I can spend 30 to 45 more minutes before dinner working my business. And then by dinner time, I'm done. I've worked an hour and a half to 2 hours that day, which is what I've decided I want my business to be right now and what I can handle right now. And I'm done by dinner and I can enjoy the rest of the evening. So everybody always has the excuse of being busy, whether it's for this or whether it's for something else, whether it's for you don't have time to, I don't know what it might be, but everybody's used the excuse of being busy. But how busy are you really? And how much time are you wasting by mindlessly scrolling and mindlessly doing that? Because I wake up at 5:45 and before I go to work, I've already worked 30 minutes of my business just in like 10-minute pockets here and there. So I think it's really easy to make the excuse of time, but if it's important to you and it's something you want to do and it's something you want to try and you are passionate about it, you're going to find time. So don't let the excuse and the inner mean girl of, no, you're too busy. Stop. You got to say no. You got to say no. Sometimes, yes, you do. But if it's important to you, you'll make time and you won't be too busy for it. So that being said, I'm going to pass it back to Britt to finish us off for the evening.
Oh, you guys, so good. I literally I was just writing some notes down because we always love to chat afterwards and just hear as coaches how it went, because we're always on a self-improvement journey. Even over here behind the screen, I'm always trying to get better, right? And I think that's the coolest part about being a coach is you give yourself the opportunity to evolve and to grow. And it's really cool. And I literally just wrote so good under each of these ladies with 17 underlines, because that was my critique. So good. But they're so good. Ladies, thank you for those stories. Okay, I'm going to wrap us up. I'm going to land the plane. We'll get off of this and you'll get on with your night. But before I do that, I did want to share with you a little bit about kind of what it takes. So, Leah shared a little bit about what the coach does, that we cheer others on, that we are advocates for our own self-care. We work on showing up daily, right? And then because we do that, there's this, like Kristen said, you start to realize, well, I'm doing the things that a coach is doing. Why not monetize this? Why not bring other people along with me and maybe have some fun money on the weekends, right? And then that starts to grow into, okay, well, I've got the fun money. So now where do I go with this? And that just kind of keeps snowballing. And like Annie said, it's all about the time and the priority and what you're using your time for. And we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but it's how can we cultivate the routine so that this doesn't feel like it's just such an additional chore in our day, but it literally becomes a part of our day, right? And that's truly the goal for everyone, is how do we cultivate this so that it just becomes such a seamless part of your lifestyle? And it really starts, the foundation of it is with your self-care. It's with you showing up for you. So kudos to all of you guys who are on here who have already embarked on your own journey. That's what this is about. The secret of this business is the exact same secret of your fitness journey. Keep showing up. That's it. That's the secret, right? Consistency, grit, and determination, and that not giving up mentality is truly what will take you to places that you can never even sit here and imagine today, right? And we are the people that get to link arms with you and walk alongside of you and believe in you before you believe in yourself, and remind you of why you said yes, and pick you up when you fall down, right? And maybe push you a little bit towards that scary goal. That's what we're here for. And so I love it. I love that as coaches, we get to live fit. Okay. And so everybody, I'm going to talk really quick about how you enroll. Right. So everybody enrolls. If you've already joined and you had gotten your pack in the past or whatever, that's really how everyone joins. Everyone joins with that base pack where you get your fitness, you get your supplements, and then you get access to our community. Well, a coach enrolls the same way. They just enroll with the coach opportunity. And you can be a discount coach like Leia was when she first started out. My mom is a discount coach. And you can also work as a hobby and you know, bring all your friends along, your BFFs with you and friends and family to do this with you, like Kristen did when she joined. Or you can be like, why not me, like Annie? And you can just be like, I'm going to do this as a business because why not? You can, there's every scenario there when you start. There's not a one size fits all process. But when you enroll with that pack, and we can break down as coaches when we get off this call, they can break down exactly what pack is right for you and the different options in conversation, but just know that everybody gets started with that. And so the cool part is the worst case scenario. I love this. The worst case scenario when you join as a coach is that you get your pack, you move your body more for the next 30 days. You're more mindful of the things you put in your mouth and in your ears for the next 30 days. And you surround yourself with really awesome community for 30 days. And if after 30 days, you're like, that's not for me, you go back to living your life and you can even get a full refund. So like, there's literally, to me, zero risk. That's your worst case scenario. You move your body more, you're more mindful of your food, and you're surrounded by positive people who just want to cheer you on. That doesn't sound so bad to me, right? Best case scenario is the lives of these ladies and some of the things that they've hopefully inspired you with tonight, right? Also, urgency. I'm just going to give you one little piece of urgency before we depart. Is tonight, since it is the last night of the month, there is a promotion going that if you enroll as a coach before the end of March, which is tonight, you'll get a $40 off BFF promo coupon. And what that means is immediately as a coach, you'll get a coupon for $40 off that you can gift to someone to say, come do this with me. You can already bring on your very first person by giving them $40 off. And you guys, I've been in this business 7 years, and I've literally, this is how many times Beachbody has given me a $40 off coupon. I'm super jealous over here of any brand new coach, because wow, that's an opportunity, because $40 off is just an insane deal on the pack. It's already an insane deal. Our packs are basically breaking down to 43 cents a day for the year. What? Like, what gym can you go to for 43 cents a day? I don't know. And get all the tools and community and support that we have. I don't know. If you find one, let me know. But on top of that, another $40 off. So if you are like, you know what, I think I want to do this, tonight is the night that you're going to want to sign up versus tomorrow night, because you're going to get that coupon code tonight. Now, if you need more time to think about it, totally cool. But next week is when we're going to kick off. Tuesday night, I have a new coach kickoff call, and we're going to start our new coach training for the month of April, where I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you a new coach handbook. We're going to walk through all these things. So everything these ladies described to you that might seem foreign or just, I don't know how to wrap my head around this, we're going to walk with you. We're going to mentor you. We're going to help you. We're going to guide you. We're going to do this together, right? That's the best part about this business. You don't enroll and then, okay, have so much fun. Let me know how it goes for you. We do this together, right? Your struggles, your successes, I want to be there for all that. And the girls also want to be there for all that with you. So if you do, if you are getting ready to take the plunge and join our team, we're so excited. We can't wait to welcome you in. And just know that Tuesday, mark your calendar for Tuesday next week. There's going to be a new coach kickoff call in the evening. And then following that, we will get all together for the rest of the month, just grinding it out and going through that training together, making sure that all your initial questions are answered and that we help you get started as best as possible. Deal? Awesome, ladies. Well, I'm so thankful that you're here. If you know me, you know I got to get a boomerang, because if it's not on boomerang, it didn't happen. And hopefully this works, because I actually did a boomerang of my dinner and it didn't happen. Like, it didn't load. And so now my people don't think I ate dinner tonight. I ate dinner. Just kidding. I'm not that crazy on social media. Just a little bit. All right. I got it on boomerang. All you need to do is move a little bit. So I'll say go, and you can move, do a finger dance, you can cheers, whatever you would like to do. Just smile a little bit, wink at us. Ready, go. Y'all are so cute. Y'all are so cute. All right. I cannot wait to meet all of you guys officially once you join our team. Have the best night. I'll see you guys later.